Aloha and welcome to the Empowered Empath Energy Report. So today I want to talk to you about how this energy is reflecting into your body, what's happening. If you're sensitive, you're definitely going to be noticing a punch of energy that is really probably uncomfortable. We have lunar eclipse that just happened. We have full moon that just happened. We have Mercury retrograde. Everything just feels nuts. And because of this, if you are sensitive, especially if you're an empath and you have an ability, you're one of the ones that has an ability to read energy, this is going to be a lot for you. This time frame is just really going to be a lot. First of all, this energy is really high emotionally charged energy. It is such emotionally charged. It's craziness. So you might be feeling an array of emotions all over the place. But because of the combination of what's happening energetically, there's a lot more than just being, emotionally charged. We have a Mercury retrograde going on right now, and it's causing a lot of past stuff to come up, but it's also a renewal and healing time. And this past stuff is going to be emotionally charged, but that's just not all. On top of this, we have the lunar eclipse energy. So where we would normally have a Mercury retrograde and we would normally be dealing with full moon energy and all this sort of thing, this lunar eclipse energy is amplifying everything, like amplify 3,000. Like it's making what normally might feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 3 or a 4, it's making it feel like an 11 or a 12. We're off the charts, we're off the scale. It's intensifying anything that you're experiencing just crazily. Now, the problem with kind of what's going on energetically right now and what you will want to be watching for is there's also this weird blanket of a low vibration energy that's kind of blanketing over everything. And you want to imagine that like it's probably like out here we call it fog, because the volcano fog. On the mainland you would call it fog, or even just like a humidity. When you have, or like even a super cloudy day, you know how you have this kind of weather blanketing over an area, but it's not storming, it's just blanketing over it. We have a low vibration frequency blanketing over all of this stuff that I'm talking to you about, causing the perfect storm. And it literally probably is causing the perfect storm. On the mainland, you're probably getting like a lot of really weird weather, dark weather, really heavy rains, things of that nature as well. So it's affecting not just our spiritual bodies, but it's affecting the energy of the earth as well. Now, the problem with this low vibration frequency that we're experiencing right now is it is behaving like a magnet. And so any low vibration frequency that you have from the past, anything that might be upsetting to you, traumatizing to you, you might have what you maybe call PTSD from, just any type of traumatizing emotional experience or just sadness or whatever, something going on in the past, mind you, not something that's happening today. Because here's the kicker with this energy. All this stuff that we're talking about, it's not happening in this time frame. So when this emotionally energy is coming up, it's coming up from the past, with the Mercury retrograde and all that. So with this blanket of negative, well, I guess you'd call it negative energy. I want to be more neutral and call it just low vibration energy. With that, it is acting like a magnet. And so it's going to draw any low vibration stuff to the surface of your emotional being, of yourself, of your mind, of how you're feeling. And so it's going to just pull it. Just like if you put a magnet on top of a magnet and it just on a table and it just sucks up to the top and just snaps. That's what's happening energetically with any low frequency stuff that you're stored in the body. Now, again, the kicker is you're going to want to pay attention, because most likely whatever you're feeling that might be making you feel upset or might making you feel like I'm being a crazy person right now, like I'm legitly being like nuts. It's most likely something that was happening in the present was actually triggering you to something that actually happened in the past. So for instance, people are being triggered right now by a friend, a lover, a family member, whatever. Something that these people are saying or doing is triggering a response that's not warranted at this moment in time, but it's a response of something that you felt in the past. So maybe somebody says something and your body automatically, your energy automatically just responds in this emotional, angry, upsetting manner. And you're like, why? This feels misplaced. Like, I shouldn't be this upset. I shouldn't be this crazy about it. I shouldn't be this emotional about it, because it's not making sense. But it's because it's linking something similar that happened to you a year ago or whatever. It seems to be a lot of stuff that went on last year or the year prior that it's pulling forward into this moment in time, and it's pulling it forward into this moment in time, and then you're reacting off of it, but it's triggered by something this moment in time, but it's not, it's almost overkill. It's like, why did I get that way? Why am I responding this way? So if that makes sense to you. So you have the Mercury retrograde of the past stuff's going on. You've got the lunar eclipse energy of heightening everything very crazy. You have this low frequency energy that is pulling everything to the top like a magnet. So it's literally the perfect storm. It's absolutely super not fun. Okay. So how do you deal with this? Because the other thing that's coming along with this is super high anxiety. Super, super high anxiety. Now, these anxieties that you're currently experiencing are anxieties that are tied to past situations. It's not even like normal anxiety. It's not like normal anxiety, like I'm worried about this happening again or that happening again. It's anxiety that's tied to feelings and emotions and traumatizing things that happened already, and that's kind of floating around in your system. And so you will want to do a couple of things that are going to be very important. One is, if you feel like you're overreacting or getting super emotional or feeling very upset, feeling like crying, feeling anything that just doesn't feel anything but just awesome, and you're like probably going to notice it's going to be more intense than normal, and you use your brain to sort of categorize and separate and be like, should I really be this upset about something, this whatever right now? Because if you do that, most likely, I would say 90% of the time, your answer is going to be no. And then your next job is to figure out, what have I been holding on to, burying, thought I handled, thought I did better than I did, stuffed away, put a cork on it. What emotion, what event, what traumatizing experience that I had, or what emotional experience did I have in the past that made me feel this same way? And then you're going to want to realize and go backtrack into your last couple years and try to figure out, where did that emotion come from? Because it's not surfacey now, it's surfacey from before. And once you make that link, and you even acknowledge it or voice it out loud, you can talk to a friend, you can talk to whoever, and just be like, wow, I found that I was getting really upset right now, but I'm realizing it was not from anything current. It was from something that I thought I had handled. Because the simple fact of the matter is, when you go back, I've had this going on with myself. I've had it going on with family members and friends where we've been having discussions. All of us were like, wow, I actually thought I'd put that to rest. I thought it was over it. I thought it was good. But when your body energetically holds on to something and it's sort of written in your energetic being, it can be pulled to the surface. And the way to address it is to talk about it and or to acknowledge it, because it then dissipates out into the universe and sort of dissipates out of your body. The minute that I even made the link of what was going on with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I get this now. This is me being upset at this time frame, but this current situation reminded me of that time frame, and all of a sudden it just, like the perfect storm, it just made me feel like that was at this current time. So it just popped everything from the past to the surface, and your brain wants to correlate it to now, and I'm like, no, this isn't making any sense. This feels like an overreaction. Oh, I get it now. It's not from now, it's from the past. And one thing triggered another. So you might be feeling very triggered right now. Any triggers that you may have that may set you off feeling upset or that you don't like something, you're going to feel very triggery right now, okay? So when you start feeling triggered, it is going to be the best thing for you to go back and go, where's this triggered energy at in my past? Because we need to stomp that out. We need to get rid of it. We need to acknowledge that I didn't handle whatever as well as I thought I did. We need to kind of get that out of the body, voice it, talk to a friend and whatever, and just release it. And you can, if you want to, do some type of releasing ceremony. You could do where you write it on a piece of paper and just say, I thought I'd let go of this, but apparently I'm still really upset, still really angry about, still really, resentful. Anything that, because it may not just be anger, you may be resentful. So any of those things you may want to write down on a piece of paper and just be like, I am letting this go. Like, I really want this out of my energetic body for good, because I do not want any lower frequency weather coming in again and pulling this to the surface. So in a way, it's kind of a good thing, truthfully, because I always view things like that as a good thing, because we are really great. Humans are very fantastic at letting things kind of be pushed down in a way that we feel like we've come to terms with them, we've neutralized it, whatever, and then we find out later, oh, that really didn't happen. And if we don't ever allow ourselves to understand what we kind of put a cork on, then what happens is it can manifest into health and, emotional happiness and stuff. So we want to be aware of those things that we were like, we're good, we're fine, I've dealt with it, everything's cool, We want to know if that's not really true, because then we can make a conscious effort to address it again when we're not so in the moment about whatever happened. And we can consciously make an effort to release it out the body, out our energy system, and all of that sort of thing. The other thing that I want to point out is we're going to be moving into still a high manifestation moment as well, like new beginnings. We're going to be moving into anything where you're creating something new, starting something new, or you're really lining out some desires. That's going to be also happening. So while you're releasing this old, it's like out with the old, in with the new. Okay. So while you're releasing any of this old energy and this old stuff, also play around with the energy of how you want things to change in your life. What do you want to be different? What do you want to be fresh and new? What opportunities do you want to happen? Can be with location, job, money, family, just peace of mind. How do you want to move forward? Calmer? Do you want to feel like things are just relaxing for you? Again, I kind of relate my gemstones to stuff like that. So I have a lot of people ask me about that, and this one's just a podcast, but right now I'm wearing citrine and labradorite, because labradorite is super awesome for this crazy moon energy and to sort of balance you with that so that you're not being quite as affected. And I'm wearing the citrine because I'm using that as, for me, I'm drawn to stones because of the way it calms my vibration. And so I will be very drawn to be wearing something that day or that week or whatever. And right now I am very drawn to citrine and labradorite. And then it's kind of like my brain kicks in and goes, oh, you're drawn to citrine because we're obviously moving on a manifestation energetic wave here soon. Oh, you're drawn to labradorite because we're trying to balance this moon energy right now. The other thing that I do want to point out for those of you who are having high frequency energy affecting you right now, this is such a weird energetic time. Oh my gosh, it's so weird. Because we have the low frequency pulling stuff to the surface, but we also have high frequency energy from the lunar eclipse, right? It's amplifying everything. So it's amplifying low energy, but it's also amplifying high energy. And we're getting some high energy from the full moon that was just happening as well. So we got this low frequency energy working with Mercury retrograde in the past and that sort of thing. And then we have the lunar eclipse amplifying that. But we also have the full moon and the other part of Mercury retrograde where we're going in future stuff and high frequency energy. So we're amplifying that. So that's why you feel like a crazy person is we've got the yin and the yang just really powerful right now. It's insane. And so that happening is also causing some people who are very sensitive right now to wake up feeling super bad anxiety. But if you pay attention, if you're waking up this way and you haven't even had a time to put a thought process together and you haven't been around any weird energy, you're gonna notice that it almost feels like adrenaline. And that so it's going to be a little bit different anxiety than if you're hanging out in a room full of people or whatever, or you're like just at a place that makes you very anxious. It's going to be, or you're just worried about something and you're anxious because of that. It's going to be different. It's going to feel similar, but if you pay close attention, it will feel a little bit different. If you don't pay attention, you're just going to go, oh, it's just anxiety, and you're going to just slap it up to regular anxiety. But what's happening is your body is aligning with some of this intense high frequency energy from the lunar eclipse and the moon, the full moon. And so it's causing you to almost feel like you're vibrating inside or having an adrenaline rush, which you're most likely going to relate to just anxiety. Because some people, if you think about it, a lot of times when you're having anxiety, it can feel like you're vibrating on the inside, or you're having an adrenaline rush. So this is a little bit different. You're going to most likely wake up with it. And that happens because that full moon energies, they're a lot more intense at night. And so because of all the intensity and the moon energy, it kind of starts to raise your frequency at night. And then it can feel like you just have been subjected to it for a very long time, and you're still waking up feeling like I said, like an adrenaline rush, or like you're kind of vibrating or something, and then your brain's immediately going to, oh, this feels like anxiety. It feels like shaky. It feels like anxious. It feels like anxiety, but it's from just aligning with that moon energy. And truthfully, it doesn't feel awesome when that's going on. It's not my favorite at all. So most likely right now you will want to be grounding yourself as well in the morning. So you will want to ground yourself in the morning. That's going to be super helpful. But if I was you, I'd be grounding all the time. Yoga tends to work really well with new moon or moon energy. So if you can do some yoga stuff at night before bed, and or in the morning when you get up, you're going to notice that your body's going to start feeling different on a physical level. We got to deal with the emotional part of the energy as well, but your body's going to start feeling more balanced on a physical level, which to me is huge to your emotional state. So it's going to be like all a nice little loop that kind of connects together. So to sum this up, you're going to most likely be dealing with a lot of energy, emotions, kind of traumatizing energy that really affected you in a emotional way that maybe is not awesome, with all of the perfect storm that we got going on from the past. That energy is going to feel like it's linked to something in the present, but it's not. It's linked to something in the past. The present is where you're triggered. So make sure that you look for that link of what you were triggered about and correlate to where you pulled that from in the past. Allow that to have a voice. Give yourself that aha moment and allow you to kind of release it and be like, okay, I get this. This is not this current situation. So that is going to allow you right now to feel a little bit more triggered than normal and feel more emotional than normal. You're going to feel probably more confused than normal. And you may feel like you're overreacting to a situation that might be confusing. Like, why do I feel this intense, right? And so you want to link... you want to remove so that you're realizing it's not a current time frame thing. It's a past time frame thing that's being pulled to the surface by this beautiful blanket of low vibration energy. And we want to address it, get rid of it. Like I said, you can write it on paper, light the paper on fire in a fireproof bowl. You can release it in intentions any way you want to with moon energy. It doesn't matter if you do it moon at night to do a lot of, you could sage it. You could just talk to a friend and bitch about it, whatever. That's going to help release it out of the body. But do take a minute to acknowledge you didn't fully heal from whatever that experience was. You just didn't fully heal from it. And you may not fully heal from it right this moment, but the beginning of acknowledging it and talking about it and releasing it is the beginning of really putting that to rest in a healing, energetic way. So that's the other thing about Mercury retrograde. It's kind of like, past stuff, but moving into really new, good stuff. So you can use this time to really heal some things that you haven't healed, but thought you did. It's going to be confusing because you're really going to be like, geez, I really did think I handled this. And then you're going to be dealing with, like I said, the triggery, the emotions, the heightened energy of all that. And then you're going to be dealing with, feeling physically like just high frequency energy, shaky anxiety, and things of that nature. So we want to line out, because this is going to be some manifesting energy moving forward. You want to line out how you want to move forward. It could be like, I want to move forward releasing this, but I want to move forward doing something new. I want to move forward in whatever way. It doesn't really matter. But this manifesting energy, you want to put some thought into what I do when I do this is I will lay in bed prior to going to sleep and prior to waking up, and I will notably just focus on my body, and I will feel the frequency of my body. And then to calm that frequency, if I'm noticing it's doing what it's been doing lately, is I will start taking that energy and I will start going, okay, I want to calm the body in this way. I want to calm my emotions in this way. I want to feel things feeling calm today. I want to feel things working out really good today. I want to feel whatever I'm worried about, XYZ, working out perfectly in this manner. I want everything to just feel lighter, to feel easier, to feel less emotional, to feel calmer. So I very much concentrate on moving that energy into manifesting more of a calm state, because let's face it, if we're calm, things are going good, right? If you're feeling calm and happy, everything is like basically moving forward nicely. Things are expanding. They are being abundant. You're feeling good if you're feeling in a calmer state. So I would suggest that you do that before you go to sleep and before you get up. Just feel the body and feel the frequency of the body, and then work on just calming the whole body from head to toe, and then visualizing that calm moving into the day with actions and things that happen in a way that just feels good to you. So that would be my other suggestion. So you'll make it through this. Unfortunately, this energetic storm is going to be happening into June. I believe Mercury retrograde ends on the 3rd, but I believe that I can feel this energy still staying present until probably around June 10th. So we're going to be dealing with some triggery emotional stuff, and our body trying to line with high frequency stuff, and take advantage of this manifestation energy because it's super high right now. Till June 10th, till we move forward. So if you have any questions or comments on how you're doing, or questions maybe that I didn't answer and you want some feedback on, like what about this or what about this, absolutely comment below and I will try to get to that and answer it for you. But until then, hang in there. It's not going to last forever. It doesn't feel awesome, but it will again soon. So enjoy your day and have the most amazing time. Aloha.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Crush your morning goals with a steak, egg, and cheese bagel or any breakfast sandwich and snag another one for just $1 with the buy one, get one deal. Only in the McDonald's app. Limited time only at participating McDonald's. Valid once per day. Must opt into rewards.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.